What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Premier Boys Soccer Podcast.
We are going to be doing our normal thing, which is talking about Premier League soccer. We're going to be going over match week 5 this week, ladies and gentlemen. Champions League kicking off Tuesday and Wednesday.
Tomorrow, bro. Champions League is tomorrow.
It's tomorrow.
The start of the Champions League is tomorrow.
We're back. We're back here. You know what Pep said today, huh?
What do you say?
He said it's easier to be defending champions than it is to go out and win it your first time.
Really? All right.
I don't know how I feel about
all
that.
right,
I don't know what
we'll see
y'all
about
think
that.
about that. If you think it's easier to win it a second time as defending champions rather than your first time, I would love to hear your thoughts on that. Please let me know why you think that's the case.
You know, that's a very interesting thing to bring up because one could make the argument that it is more difficult to win it your first time, very similar to how some people say the hardest thing to do is make your first million, and then after that, it's easier.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, there is a lot of pressure to become to win it back again after you've won it the first time. So that's an interesting argument. I'd be curious to get a couple more inputs and opinions on that. Just with what side of the coin are you on? Is it easier to win it a second time over? Do you agree with what Pep said? I don't know. That's an interesting point. Very interesting point.
Yeah. I don't
I don't know
really
if I agree with that, but
I don't know if I agree or disagree really. I don't know cuz I mean no.
oh, look who it is. Cracks, you've
He's
missed a
gone.
lot, my friend. You've missed so much since you've been gone.
Wow.
I'm
I
glad
thought
to see are you doing well? Is everything okay?
I hope he's doing, I
You
hope you're
good?
doing well.
I hope everything is well. Anyway, Cracks, it's harder the more you win, I think. Hey, you're good, buddy. Life happens. Hey, life happens so much so that we have narrowed it down to just two of us now. So
I
it's
mean, we
it's
haven't
just
narrowed
Jay
it
and I.
down. We haven't. David narrowed it down to
David narrowed it down. Yes, it wasn't. No, it was a mutual thing. There was no bad blood. There was
I
no.
wouldn't call it a mutual thing. I didn't want him to leave.
Well, okay, but
I would call it a. I
it
would
was
call it
more or
a.
less consensual.
I'd call it well, yeah, consensual in the sense that I support my boy in whatever he
Yes,
does and whatever he needs
yes,
to do for
exactly.
himself.
There's no bad blood.
Um,
Yeah, we lost
yeah,
David.
it's all love. It's all love around here. We're not missing David for any bad reasons. We're missing him because he's trying to work on what he needs to do in life,
That's
and
not to
I
say he
respect.
might not come back. We got to actually cracks. We have a really really fun stream coming up next week. Is it next
Yeah,
Friday?
yeah. Next Friday.
Next Friday. You got to come out next Friday. I think. What time do we say?
I don't think we set a
We
time.
didn't set a
I
time.
don't think we set a time.
Next Friday.
I'll shoot you a DM on Twitter over the time.
Next
I get you a
Friday,
time.
we're gonna have a few guests. We're gonna be having some heated debates, and we'd love to have you there because I think you're gonna have a fun time with it.
I think
Anyway,
I can get David there. I think I can talk him
oh,
into it.
we could probably get David in that.
Oh, I brought it up to him and he said, "Nah, I'm not getting involved." He doesn't want to be involved in the debate, but I want him there. I just want to hear him and
I want.
Francis go back and forth.
I really want to hear both of their takes.
Yeah, I honestly I want to I
Is
just
Gideon coming too?
I would die if anything. I would say he's coming, but I don't know if he'd be on the
Okay.
podcast.
Yes, next Friday, my friend. Anyway, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. We'll figure it out. So
Yeah,
we got Champions League coming up. We got Premier League recap. Let's just get over this match week. We didn't do any predictions. We did predictions for this coming weekend,
yeah.
but we haven't done any. We didn't do any for this past weekend. So let's just get these matches out of the way. We'll talk a couple interesting matches over this past week, and some fun results. So let's go over those super quick, and then we can talk about we can talk about next week's Premier League, this coming weekend's Premier League, and most importantly, Champions League is the hot topic for the day.
Yeah, there's only 3 games I'm super interested in the sense that I think they hold any like serious weight and entertainment. I mean, I think we all know the smaller teams don't hold much weight.
That's not entirely true. I mean, there's a lot of these smaller teams that it's different. It's different in
I mean,
Champions League than Europa League.
they might throw somebody's path off, make maybe in the group stage make their job a little harder in the sense of losing a game they weren't expecting to lose. But I'm talking in the sense of like
games that you want to watch. Big 6S
Yeah,
style
well,
games.
yes and no, because I mean, even those games where the smaller teams upset the bigger clubs, I like to see that.
There is bound to
But
be at least one or two upsets. At least one or two upsets. So it'll be interesting to see who is on the other end of it. Now, if you want to pull up Champions League, in the
yeah,
meantime,
I've got Champions League coming up right here.
okay, cool. In the meantime, we're starting off cracks with a tough 3-1 loss. Wolves against Liverpool. Liverpool coming out with a 3-1 dub. I did not like the way that game looked. I thought my Wolves were going to beat David's squad. I thought you guys were going to beat us as well. You guys started off really good, and there was a couple missed opportunities. I mean, Cunha, I think it was Cunha that missed the sitter in front of goal. He couldn't determine whether he wanted to hit it with his head or his foot, and it kind of just hit him in the thigh. Right one on one with Allison. Would have had
That's
him beat
such an awkward situation
if
to
he
get
just
caught
hit
in.
the ball in any direction and got any type of clean contact. That was a goal, 100%. Completely changed the dynamic of the game. Probably would have ended 2-2 at best. But you guys actually looked really, really good. And coming off with the 1-0 right at the beginning, I'm pretty sure it was 6 minutes in, I got nervous. And we don't have a very good record at the Wolves Stadium away. So
Now you guys have, especially in the like last 4 or 5 years, you guys have really struggled against.
they always play well against us. And
I don't look back on this.
so to come out with a 3-1 dub, we again, second half team
No, I'm not.
picking it back up. Now, granted, this is also, I should say, the week after the international break, and some players played 2 days prior to this, 2, 3, 4 days prior, different time zones, different elevations. Everybody was struggling, and you could tell. Like McAllister did not look good this game at all. You could tell he was tired. He was out of it. He was fatigued, and that's why they subbed him off second half. He didn't start second half, but he looked rough. Soboslai looked a bit slower than usual.
I think he looked pretty solid in that second half. I think he looked pretty
In the
solid in that
second
second
half,
half.
yeah, in the second half he was decent, but everybody was very slow, very lethargic in that first half. And not having defenders, we didn't have Trent and we didn't have Van Dyke. Verge and Trent were not starting this game. Verge because of a red card, Trent because of the ankle injury. So
I don't think Alex should be starting anyways.
okay, all right, we won't go that far because the only other player that is at the right back position is Joe Gomez, and you know my thoughts on Joe Gomez.
Oh, I think Joe Gomez is a big pile of.
You know what my thoughts are on Joe Gomez. My dude got megged. He got megged and light jogged back. I'm sorry if I'm getting megged, and then they scored off of it. If I'm getting megged,
That's where it's really
if I'm
really.
getting megged like that, I'm sorry, your ankles are done. They're gone. You're not getting past me. I don't care what I have to do. I'm taking the yellow with a chip on my shoulder.
That's what we know.
And
Tyler's a sore loser.
no, dude, I'm sorry. You're not megging me. That's just I'm not taking that disrespect. Not happening. In game, ankles gone. You better hope to God that you don't ever meg me. Anyway,
I want to make you so bad now because if you do that at like Fast Five,
throwing
I'll
hands right
grab
then and
you
there.
from the ground. I'll be on the ground. I'll be falling to the ground, and I'll just grab you by the neck or something. And I'm just gonna pull you down with me, and that's just how. Yeah, no. Um,
Yeah, Joe Gomez is dog water for sure.
I don't know why you guys don't.
Hmm,
I don't know why you guys didn't sell Salah. Get yourself a couple of defenders with that money as well as a new attacker.
you say this. However, Salah has had a goal contribution in every single one of the games that we've played recently, and he had 2 assists in
I
this
mean,
game.
I see why they didn't sell him. I just disagree with the decision because you're not going to get that lump sum of money ever again for Salah. You're not going to get that. They don't come at you with that same offer. They maybe come at you with another pretty solid offer, 150 mil or so. Um,
Ooh.
but no, I think they should have gotten rid of him. Parted ways with that, let that ship sail, and then use that money to reinvest because we all know you guys need that money.
I think the winter transfer window is when we're going to start seeing some crazy stuff. I'm actually very interested to see what happens this winter transfer. Salah is him though, and he's a club legend. Exactly, and I think he's
But read the
trying to
next bit.
create a legacy. Huh?
Read the next bit he sent.
I understand not selling, but it would have been unbelievable money. I agree.
That's what
I
that's all I'm saying.
absolutely agree with that.
Like I said, I understand why they don't sell him, but do I agree with it? No. If I'm making those decisions,
It
he's
depends on how you look at
gone.
it. If you're making it based solely off of a business decision, then yeah, 100%.
And in those in that position of a club where you are making those decisions, what are you making your decisions based off? Business. And
Yeah, for sure.
longevity of the club as well. Business like over longevity. Because you sell them then, you invest in some younger players that are undiscovered, where you don't spend a lot of money, obviously. You can then do what? Turn around and sell them again for
Yeah,
high
the
amount.
Brighton approach.
Literally, yeah. Um, but I mean, we can never fault a team for not selling their as you would I guess have to say star player because he is your head player. He is the face of Liverpool at that moment.
At the moment,
Outside of
he
Klopp, because I
is he
think if
is
anybody thinks about Liverpool, they for the most part think about Klopp, unless they don't watch football.
it's hard not to.
Sorry,
He's a
yeah, I'm
character.
sorry. Klopp is the face of Liverpool, if you ask me. Uh,
Well, regardless, Wolves put up a good fight. That scoreline does not reflect the game itself.
no, it does not.
I think we did not deserve that win. That we did not look good that game. Anyway, moving on. We have Fulham and Luton Town playing at Fulham. Fulham only coming away with a 1-0 win, but securing the 3 points regardless. So Luton Town have not gained any points up to this
No,
point
I
in the
think
season, I think.
I think they are going to. I believe it's Derby County who currently holds the worst points outcome in Premier League history.
They
Um,
have 0 points to their name.
I think they're going to break that record. I think Derby County was the one who previously held that record. Look it up.
I will look it up a little bit later. But yes, cracks. I think Wolves will be safe from relegation. The trick is to see if you guys can maintain that for the entirety of the season. I Cracks, I'm right there with you, bro. I really wanted to see Luton come through with I wanted to see them stay in the Premier League. I don't see that happening, but hopefully they can come back next season. I mean, it's still very, very early on. I just don't see how at this point in the season with 0 points, that's going to be a steep comeback. But we'll see.
Wow. Okay, maybe they are going to break Derby County's record. Because that was 11 points.
They got 11 points.
11 points. That's pretty poor.
That's like that's
It's like 3 wins and a couple of draws.
that's bad. Oof. We'll
That's
see.
literally what they
But
did.
realistically, who do you see Luton Town
Chelsea.
beating? Okay. All right.
Chelsea.
All right. I wouldn't go that far.
Granted, that's the only team Chelsea has scored more than one goal in the. Oh my goodness! What a finish! Who was that? Wow.
Luton will get like 5 wins. I hope. I hope they get something. Wow, what a finish. We're
Yeah,
watching the
touch
Aston
off the
Villa Crystal Palace
chest.
replays right now, but what a volley.
Woo.
That thing zipped
Yeah,
and shredded the back of the net.
zero ball movement on that.
Um, yeah, I really wanted to see Luton stay up this season, but
I
realistically,
did
I
too.
don't think that's happening.
Nope, they're getting a fat
But
20th spot.
still plenty of time in the season for it to turn around. Anyway,
Is there
Tottenham, yeah, it's not even halfway through the season yet. There's still plenty of time.
No, I mean like starting from like day one of the season, was they're going to turn it around for Luton
Burnley and Everton both only have 1 point.
and
One win
and Sheffield.
and Sheffield. And Wolves and Bournemouth only have 3. One win from Luton Town shoots them to
All right, yeah,
around
this is
16.
bombastic to say.
So there's still time.
All right,
Man United might fumble to Luton. Cracks, I with every fiber of my being hope that that happens.
I
One
would
of my coworkers is a diehard Man United fan.
I would pay to see Man United get relegated.
Oh, they won't get relegated, but
I would pay
I,
to
I
see
would,
them or Chelsea get relegated.
I would love to see them lose to Luton Town. That would be hysterical. I mean, to be fair, Man United only have 2 wins, so they're not looking good either. But we'll get to them in a second. This next game, the Tottenham Sheffield United game, where Tottenham won 2-1. There was 12 minutes of stoppage time, and if there wasn't 12 minutes of stoppage time in that game, if it was something normal like 5,
Oh,
that
they'd have
game
been
would have ended
screwed.
in a draw.
They would have been screwed.
I'm pretty sure
I
both.
think it would have actually ended
No,
in a
it would have ended
loss.
in a loss
Yeah.
because Tottenham scored both of their goals in the 98th and the 100th minute. Literally 2 minutes before whistle blew, Kulusevski scores a goal. Man, Sheffield United, that's a bummer for them. With this
Oh
new,
yeah, that hurts.
they lost this game purely because of the new stoppage time rule.
I mean, look at this. 9+ minutes, 100th minute they scored.
Yeah, but it was already 2-1 at that
Yeah,
point,
yeah,
so.
yeah. But my point is, why is the game still going if
But
they're already winning?
insane with this new stoppage time. Tottenham is my second favorite team this
Oh, it
season.
all went all the way to 106
I
too.
will say they're looking really good under Postecoglou,
Yeah.
under
I
Ange.
mean, like
They look like
David
a
said
different team.
before, me, and like I've been saying for the last 3 weeks, Ange ball is pretty. It's pretty and it is dangerous.
And to be able to score 2 goals when you're down 1-0 for the entirety of the game and to continue to stick it out, continue to press, continue to push into the 98th, going on 112 minutes of extra time, that says a lot about the team.
I
And for
agree.
them to pull out, I think this is a great win for Tottenham. They did narrowly miss losing out on 3 points, but that's a good result from them. That shows grit and determination
I
and
agree.
not just sitting back. And Richarlison getting on the score sheet off of a
He needed that.
header off the corner.
He needed that this
He
early into
needed
the
that big
season.
time. He needed that big time, especially with everything that he's been kind of dealing with. So that
Better than
game,
some Brazilian wingers I know. Well, I guess he's not a winger.
who?
Anthony.
Oh, Anthony.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah,
You
yeah,
said you
yeah,
said
yeah.
things he's been
I thought you
dealing
were gonna
with.
say
That doesn't.
Neymar, but okay, that makes sense. Um, so yeah, good dub from Tottenham. That's a hard fought 3 points at home. I thought they were losing that game. Next up, we have West Ham playing Manchester City at West Ham. Man City, as we expected, a 3-1 dub.
I called it on stream.
West Ham looked very, very good, but it's just so hard to play against a team like City because of the fact that they just pass the ball around. They wear you down
We
by
will
the end of the game.
suffocate you.
By the end of the game, you are done. Like you don't have any energy left. James Ward-Prowse scored in the 36th minute. Then all of the goals, it was the rest of City in the second half. Jeremy Doku, phenomenal signing, by the
Dude,
way.
he
Looks so
absolutely
nice.
terrorized that
He's got
team.
like 99 acceleration. That the way that he stops and goes is phenomenal.
Yeah,
Very impressive. Very fun to watch.
I
And
am very happy we acquired him. I can see why we let Cole Palmer go to let him join the team. I can see
yeah,
why.
it was a good trade off for sure. But I mean, again, 46-minute goal, 76-minute goal, 86-minute goal. They just wear you down. By the end of the game, you're
Why is
so
this game?
tired, you're exhausted. You can't think straight. West Ham put up a really really good fight. They probably might have been able to squeak one more goal in, but again, it's City, and as we expected, they come away with the 3 points against West Ham at West Ham.
Yeah, it's definitely just not a surprising match in my opinion. I mean, again, like I said, I saw this scoreline coming out. I now, as you saw, I was a little stressed at certain points in the match, a bit more stressed than I ever expected to be watching that match. Which I don't know why we always kind of struggle with West Ham. They always give us at least a little scare. But solid outcome for us. We're still one of the
Three
only
points,
teams left undefeated in
undefeated.
the league.
Yep.
I think we're the only team left with nothing but wins in the league, though. I do believe.
City is getting boring. I've been saying this. I've been saying that City,
I'm
especially when they take the lead. Now, City when they're down, very fun to watch. City, when they're in the lead or the game is level at 0-0 and it's still before early into the second half, are very boring to watch because of the way they play. They just pass around, little attacks here and there, but nothing too fancy, nothing too crazy. And it works. I can't get upset with them because it works. It's just not entertaining football to watch on my end up until they lose or they start losing. And like you saw with West Ham, they came out second half flying and boom, 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 3 goals, entertaining football, and less
I
possession in
really
their
don't
own
know
half.
why we can't just do that out the gate and just suffocate people
It's
with
not the
that.
way that Pep plays.
I know, but
It's not the
God
way Pep plays.
damn, could he?
And I
Could he
think
though?
that's why Liverpool always give you guys such a hard time, is because you guys like to
Yeah,
come out
gegenpress.
possession and slow. We like to come out flying in high press, like you
Mm.
said, the Giga press. And that just does not sit well with Pep's style. Now, granted, last year we were not that great. So it's going to be very interesting to see our
This
matchup
year's
this year.
matchup, yeah, this
This year
year's
matchup
matchups are gonna
should be
be
really
good.
good.
We'll definitely have to be at Horse and
Horse
Jockey,
and
and
jockey
then
for that one. Yeah.
wherever the other one is for the
Man City.
yeah.
McGittens.
Yeah, there it is.
McGittens. There
Yeah,
it is.
I knew it was Mix something. I'm like, why? My brain wanted to say McDonald's, but I'm like, no, we're not gonna go to McDonald's and watch that. It's not gonna happen.
Anyway, next
A
up
very
is
American thing to do,
the
though.
super fun result of Brighton and Man United. Brighton beating Man United 3-1 at Old Trafford.
Not just beating them. I mean,
Beating them
handling
at
them.
Old Trafford. Bro,
Handling.
the only goal United scored is from Hannibal in the second half, right? It was the second half.
It's a solid goal too.
It was a beautiful goal. I'm not taking away anything from Hannibal's goal. However, that came in the 73rd minute. They were already down 3-1 at that point.
He gave them a chance.
It was consolation. It was consolation at that
It
point.
was consolation because the rest of the team let it be consolation. They could have made a push, but the rest of the team was beat at that point. I'm not saying you're wrong. They were beat, but could they have made something out of that game at that point? I fully believe they could have, but they were beat as a team, and I think that's more important than anything else.
Cracks, I want to get your thoughts on this. What do you think of Ten Hag subbing out Rasmus Højlund in his debut starting match at home? Kid's 19, 20,
20, I believe.
and you sub him 63 minutes in. Your new signing of 65 million pounds, and you're subbing him on his debut start down 3-1. I agreed, bro. I kind of lost a little bit of respect for Ten Hag after that. I was
I
like, you
mean, I
can't,
think everybody agrees with that, dude. The entire stadium booed him for it.
like, why? What is the bro? Let the kid play. He looked dangerous in possession from time to time. I still think United struggle on the creativity side, so it's going to be interesting to see how they fix that issue, and maybe when Amrabat comes in,
I'm not
maybe
gonna lie.
we start seeing something.
I think Anthony would have been a big help in that game that day, just because of the way that Anthony plays and the way that Hoyland plays. The way that Anthony plays, where he gets in and tries to take a defender one on one. You know, if he beats that first defender he gets on, what's to stop Hoyland from finding himself open?
Potentially,
I,
the
I
worst.
think they would. I think they'd make a really good pair. Unfortunately, I don't think we're ever going to see that happen.
Well,
Um,
we'll see how these accusations come out, but how they end up. However, the worst signing ever is his signing of Anthony. I agree. I agree. He was 80, 85 million pounds. What has he done?
Nothing because he didn't get to play with Hoyland.
He hasn't done much for the amount of money that they spent on him. And to me, I think Hoyland is a much more round, better signing than Anthony is going to be. I think there's more potential in Rasmus Hoyland than Anthony. And Anthony was what, 20 million pounds more expensive? I don't know, man. I'm not sold on Ten Hag. I thought, he had something going at first, but I'm not sold. Something about it I don't like. Something about him is rubbing me the wrong way. And I think it might be kind of second to what Crack said. He's trying to do too much.
I don't know. I kind of feel like right now, Man United are under like damn near a curse similar to what Chelsea's under. It doesn't matter who's at your wheel, like you guys are gonna struggle.
They
I don't know, man. It's weird because like they've got quality players. Don't get me wrong. Amrabat is also hurt right now, So it's affecting the team overall. You know, midfield's a very vital part of that development of the team, that build up,
I
and
just
he would be
don't
important.
see the creativity. They have some
But that's for
brief
the other.
spurts, but if Rashford doesn't take it on from midfield by himself all the way to the edge of the box, go up against the touchline and pass it back,
Bruno was disappointing in that game, if you ask me.
they're not doing
Non-existent.
anything that really excites me. Like if I'm a Man United fan and I'm watching them play, I'm like, what is this?
I don't know what
Where is
I
the
don't know
light
what
at the
I'm
end of
being
the
hopeful for at that point.
tunnel? There is no. I'd rather be in Chelsea's position opposed to Man United. I think Chelsea, pound for pound, have on paper the better players and the bigger
I mean, I'm
potential.
not gonna disagree, but damn, would I rather be a Chelsea fan or a Man United fan? That's a hard. That's hard to answer, cracks. That's hard to
You've
answer.
stumped my man. Anyway, Man United
Hmm.
losing 3-1 at home to Brighton. Brighton are a good team, but
That's not
that's
good
tough.
football at that
That's tough.
point. I'm just not watching. I'm retiring. I'm canceling any subscription I have for fucking soccer, and
For the
I'm out.
rest of the season.
No, no, no. If I'm a fan, I'm out. I'm out. Over the
That's
last
it?
couple of seasons,
You're switching to Bundesliga?
I'm switching to tennis, my boy.
Oh. Oh, switching sports. My man said, I don't want anything to do with this anymore.
I don't know, dude. Absolutely not. It's you can't spend that kind of money and not get results. Like, yeah, cool. City spend money, but we get fucking results.
It's hard, but at least we
So,
know Chelsea is rebuilding. That is true. They have been going through a
with
very,
the
very
money being
chaotic
spent
rebuild.
with this rebuild, they better be untouchable for the next fucking decade once this rebuild actually takes hold, if you will. No, dude, I don't know. I'm not calling it a rebuild. I'm calling it a scramble project, is what I'm gonna call it.
They just
I
they
hate
need
him.
to
I
they
hate.
need to
I
hire
hate.
the scouting team from Brighton.
I mean,
And then they'd be fine.
why not just buy the whole fucking staff? You already did it with Potter. Might as well just buy their whole recruiting staff, scouting staff is what I mean, and might as well buy Deserby too. Go ahead and buy Deserby as well.
That would be funny.
I want to see
That
it
would be
happen.
funny
I sent Tyler a meme earlier today from Twitter. It's 250 million for Deserby
for
for Brighton.
Deserby to Chelsea. Anyway,
And
let's get through these match weeks. Let's get through these
yeah, let's
matchups, and then and
let's
then we
hurry up
can
with
start
this,
we can
and
start talking some Champions League and other
we
things.
can. Yeah, that's all we really need to
All
do.
right, we only got a few more left to go. Aston Villa against Crystal Palace. Aston Villa coming up with a 3-1 dub. Was really thinking Crystal Palace was going to win that match. Crystal Palace has been looking really good recently, but Unai Emery's side sticking it out, getting the 3 points with the 3-1 dub. I would have been very interested to see what we would have had for predictions for this week because I feel like they were very, very off-putting.
Yeah, no, I don't think we would have had very many of these, except for maybe the Liverpool City
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
Aston Villa. I
I
think
don't
I
know if
would
we
have
would
had
have gotten
very.
the Man United Brighton one, but
Yeah, I probably would have predicted like a 2-2 draw, honestly, if I had to.
because it's Man United. Anyway, Newcastle winning, finally getting the 3 points they so desperately needed, winning 1-0 against Brentford at home, which is
Have them
very
be
shocking.
watching.
Brentford held to no goals this week. So next up, here's the other crazy one. In line with the Brighton Man United, Bournemouth and Chelsea drawing 0-0. Chelsea cannot score. I'm sorry, Nico Jackson is not that guy, pal. He is not that guy. They need Nkuku back ASAP because they can't score.
I'm trying to wrap this up in the next 10 minutes. I will be very straight with you.
Well, we can finish the predictions and then we call
All
it
right,
a day.
sorry. I just noticed what time it is.
So, tell you what, we'll run through this match week. We'll go through the table real quick and then we'll call that a day. So, Everton, Arsenal. Arsenal beating Everton 1-0 at Everton. Could have seen that one coming. Surprised that the
Yeah,
scoreline
honestly, I
wasn't
thought it was
bigger.
gonna be a little bit of higher score line. I was thinking like 3-0.
I was expecting more goals from Arsenal for sure.
Yeah.
Although Martinelli had a really nice goal that was called offsides. But last today, actually, Nottingham Forest played Burnley. It was a 1-1 draw. Burnley getting a red card. They got the 3 points. They were this close to coming out and squeaking the dub, but a slight handball off the arm was called and it got ruled back, and so they had to settle for a 1-1 draw. Yeah, it's
That's
tough.
tough. Yeah, that is tough.
Burnley was looking for their first win of the Premier League season, and it just did not happen.
Go ahead and pull up that Excel sheet. We'll just run through our predictions real quick. Like I'll just have you announce all of them. But we will talk about Champions League real quick. There's only about 4 games I care to even really bring up.
Just
The
do
other
the ones
one,
tomorrow.
what?
Do the ones for tomorrow. Or bring up, just bring up whichever ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I mean, we're not gonna talk about Wednesday tomorrow.
No.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
So Milan Newcastle actually kicks off everything tomorrow at 12:45 our time. That's probably going to be a stinker for Newcastle fans if I had to guess. I had faith in them at first to maybe
Milan
squeak
just
out.
did get smacked by Inter. Like, I think it was 4-1. So
All right, well, maybe, you know what? You know what? It's Champions League. Anything can happen.
anything can happen.
Yeah,
I think it
so
is at San Siro though.
it is. It
So
is going to
that's
be a
tough.
very interesting game. Lazio and Atletico de Madrid. I think that is going to be a pretty solid game as well. I'm pretty excited for that one.
Newcastle has to win that game. I don't know if
Yeah, no, they need to win.
Actually, they do, because if they don't win that
There's
game, the
PSG
rest
and
of
Borussia. That's
they have a chance against Borussia.
yeah, but you ain't making it off of 2 wins. No, you could.
I don't know,
Well,
but I agree. Newcastle has to win that game.
Then also in that day we have PSG, Borussia Dortmund. I'm taking Borussia that game. They got the better record in their domestic league right now, in a better league. And yeah, I can't stand PSG anymore. I'm sick of hearing about their fucking drama because they can't figure out who the fuck wants to actually play for them.
True.
Oh, Benfica and Red Bull.
That's gonna
That should be a solid game.
Di Maria
Oh, probably
has been lighting it up. He's got
Yeah.
5 goals in 6 games and 2 assists
Doesn't surprise me.
for his return.
And then what hopefully will be a better game than what I think is going to be Bayern Munich versus Manchester United.
Bayern Munich are gonna slap the shit.
Yeah, that's kind of what I think is going to happen.
Absolutely smack. I'm sorry, Man United do not have the defense to withstand the attack of Bayern. Not happening.
Um,
I'm gonna go over this the predictions that we did. Bayern 4-1. I'm inclined to agree with you.
I completely agree with that.
They lost 3-1 to Brighton.
Completely agree with that.
So I could
You
see
say that like
4-1.
Brighton's a bad team. Stop.
I don't mean it like that, but I mean they lost 3-1 to Brighton at home, and you expect a little bit better. And
Don't
Kane
disagree.
brace.
Don't disagree.
Kane has been looking pretty good for him. He's been getting on the score sheet pretty consistently.
But
you want to go
let's
over
run
this?
with those real quick.
All right.
Go ahead and just tally them off here.
First, what do you mean tally them off? We didn't.
As in, go through them.
Yeah. So City versus Nottingham Forest is the first game of the week. I predicted 4-0 City. Jay predicted 3-0 City. After that, we have Crystal Palace against Fulham. I predicted 2-1 Crystal Palace. Jay, you predicted a 2-2 draw. They're at Crystal Palace. Luton Town against Wolves. Cracks. Imagine Wolves lose to Luton Town.
I apologize, Cracks. I apologize.
Wouldn't that be a sad story? Luton Town versus Wolves. I picked 2-1 Wolves. Jay, you picked 1-0 Luton for this one. So.
Nothing against Wolves. I just think everybody's got to have their every dog has their day, and I think those going to be there for.
You hear that, Cracks? What do you feel about that? Next up, we have Brentford. Ooh, Cracks says 2-0 Wolves.
You got it. Hey, if you didn't back your boys, I was about to say 3-0 Luton. If you didn't back your own boys, so yeah, I hope you back them. I slightly want to retract that, but if I get that prediction right, hey, who looks like a genius?
We have Brentford against Everton playing at Brentford. I hope we aren't the first to lose. You better hope not. Brentford against Everton. I predicted 3-1 Brentford because they're at home. You predicted 3-2 Brentford. Burnley against Man United. I'm seeing a Man United dub, even though it's at Burnley. Man United 3-1. I just don't see Burnley. I don't know. I think Højlund gets his debut goal. Well, his first goal for United in this game. Assuming Ten Hag lets him play the entire time. Then
you shouldn't need the whole 90 minutes to score.
But you predicted a 1-1 draw. A 1-1 draw for Burnley and Man United.
God damn.
Then we have Chelsea against Aston Villa, and we both are in the same line of thought process when it comes to Chelsea. I have 2-1 Aston Villa. You have 3-1 Aston Villa. So we both expect Aston Villa to beat Chelsea at home. That's, well, away at Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. That goes to show how we view Chelsea's outcome for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I think they're rubbish, and I think an 11th, 12th, 13th, or 14th place finish is looking quite on the books right now. And also, when does Poch get sacked? Because
It's only a matter of time.
This time last year, we're at the same match week where guess who got sacked?
Dude,
Not Conte. Not
that's
Conte.
crazy.
We're talking Thomas Tuchel.
That is crazy.
And guess who had more points at this point in the season? Thomas Tuchel.
That is so crazy to think. It feels like the season just started. I don't understand why they got rid of him. Anyway.
Makes no sense.
Cracks thinks a 2-1 Chelsea. Sterling goal and assist. Interesting prediction. We'll find out next week. This weekend.
I can understand that because Sterling is starting to play a little bit better, but it's not it, my boy. That's not it. That's not the sauce. It is not the sauce we're cooking with tonight. We're cooking with down with Chelsea.
One of the games of the week, I think this is going to be the game of the week, is Arsenal against Tottenham at the Emirates Stadium. I said 3-2 Arsenal. You said 2-2 draw. So we'll see how that plays out.
2 of the 4 undefeated teams.
Yeah.
Somebody could very well be leaving with an L.
Or a draw.
Well, then
or
they're
a
still
single
undefeated.
Point. Yep. Next up is the potential second best game of the week. Liverpool against West Ham. I predicted 2-1 Liverpool. You predicted 3-1 Liverpool. So we both think Liverpool coming out with a dub at Anfield. You'd expect it.
Yeah.
But expect the unexpected in the Premier League. So you never know. Second to last, we have Brighton against Bournemouth. I predicted 4-2 Brighton. That's my outlandish prediction of the week. Jay, you predicted 2-0 Brighton. And last, we have Sheffield versus Newcastle. Borderline outlandish prediction of the week. I have a 2-2 draw, and you have 3-0 Newcastle. They are playing at Sheffield.
Yeah, I think you are absolutely wild for saying 2-2 Sheffield. There's no way. If that happens, dude, the Saudi project's over. Sorry, pack it up, go home, sell the club.
Yeah. Sell all of Newcastle.
Get out.
I think Newcastle are going to come out with a dub, but for the sake of it, 2-2 draw. And I'm sticking by it.
I'm gonna let you know right now, Craigs. I'm gonna let you know right now off of the attempt at goal. I don't know if you caught that. Off the attempt of Sterling I just saw on goal, my man's is not getting a goal and an assist. He's not getting on the pitch if I'm manager after watching this. Great little bit of play to get there.
You know, Connor
look at this.
Gallagher
Look at this.
Oh.
That's somebody who took a power shot on FIFA and doesn't understand how the aiming works.
Dude, that's bad.
Goal is here and he shot here. That's a 90-degree angle, my friend.
He was almost in the 6-yard box and he shot to
he shot a 90-degree angle.
He shot for a throw-in. That's wicked. Yeah, he shot at a 90.
Cracks. If he gets a goal and an assist, I will cash app you $5. I promise you. I swear to God. I promise. You know what, dude? You know what? Maybe that's how we'll get ourselves kicked off. I'll just start taking wagers with fucking people. I'll either start making money off stream that way, or I'll start losing money. Yeah, dog. $5 on the table.
Craig said bet that, so it's a deal.
I wish I would have said you owe me $5, but I'm not going to implement that now.
A gentleman's bet.
Gentleman's bet, except I owe you $5 if you win. I got blocked. I'm not gonna. All right. I need to get to my girlfriend's house so I can have.
Cracks, it's good seeing you
Cracks,
again.
I'm sorry.
Join us next week,
sir.
Join us next week on Friday.
Yeah, this will be the only one this week that I know of. Maybe we get one in on like Thursday or something.
He said make a different prediction for another player. You did say Luton to win. So if Luton ends up winning that game,
Luton against Wolves, it's on the table. It's
so
right here.
You have all right. We'll get confirmation from you, Cracks, before we sign off. You get $5, or you give him $5 if Sterling scores an assist. Cracks, just so you know, his proposal is if Luton beat Wolves, then you owe him $5. Is that what
Yeah,
we're
but it
talking?
does both happen.
Then they even out. Luton and
All right,
Sterling.
fair enough.
Boom.
I like this. This is a
Gentleman's
weird.
bet.
This is a weird ass bet. Oh, let's do this
Gentleman's
free
bet.
kick from Sterling. That was
That Sterling was
fucking
pretty nasty.
disgusting.
That's
That was disgusting.
all right, cracks. Thank you for
Holy
joining us.
shit.
Everybody else watching on YouTube, whether it's tomorrow or the day after, we appreciate you guys. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and catch us next week. You do not want to miss next week's episode.
Big old debate.
It's gonna be so much fun. We're gonna have a lot of fun.
Love you guys.